Boom, we are live.
Mm.
Hello, guys, everybody is out there, riders, ladies. Today we have a special rider here. She's going to talk a little more about uh, the adventure from her. And very important before we start, just for me to put, we're going to talk about one thing very important, that she's working a lot with the girls, and these the Onewheel Girls, and what she's doing. First of all, can you present to everybody where you come from, what you love to make as sport, because you love lots of sports.
Yes, I love too many sports. So my name is Lily Lamb. I'm based in the Bay Area, and I've been into board sports since I was 16 years old. I took a little hiatus at one point in my life, about almost a decade, but I'm back in full effect and really kind of started my Shred Life page and, it moved over to a Onewheel Girls page. And, one of my biggest goals is to get a lot more female writers. There's not a lot of representation out there. So I want to be a part of that and, grow with this community.
And you think now that you change for the Onewheel Girls, do you see a big change from the last 3 years or the last 2 years of riding? I don't know how long do you have experience of riding Onewheel? About how long are you riding now Onewheel?
Yeah, I've been riding a one wheel for about 5, 6 years, 5 years or so now. It's been yeah, I don't ride as much as my page might represent, but I do ride where I can. And it's interesting because I believe that there's more women riders coming in. But lately I feel like the growth has been a little bit stagnant, and I'm always, I'm curious to wonder why that might be as well too. I think one of the things is that as there's more women one wheel riders, I think what we see online is that there's these pro riders, they're super fast, they're, tricksters, they do all these things, and it's a little bit intimidating, but it doesn't have to be that way, right? You could simply just ride to the
Have
store
fun.
and, just get a little snack, somewhere. You don't really need to ride for any reason. You don't have to do all these things. You could simply get on the board, be outside and ride, and it's so much fun. So, hopefully there's more women riders. We need you. Come out.
So just for you to just to see, we're going to talk a little, and we're going to show some pictures. uh I'm going to leave the link there if you want to go there and subscribe, and if you have any questions, if you want to, it doesn't matter where you are in the world, just contact them. I think they're going to take care of you. And I feel like I was this year in lots of events in Europe, and was missing a little girls, and we need more girls in this sport. And just go there. How can you describe it? I like to see them having fun. It's not just a race; it's more than a race. It's the in these 5 years that you are now riding. You see that we are changing now, is coming other types of one wheels. Before we just was one wheel, today we have the fun wheel, today we have the float wheel, today we have the vesks, and everything. Lots of power, lots of speeds. Do you think that is what matter today, or you think that is more the community opportunity to ride and speak and have a good time?
Yeah, I think when you get into the float wheel and the vest, I mean that, that we could talk about that on a whole nother interview. But I think that's more reserved for some of the more, tricksters, the pro riders, people who are really wanting to excel their progress.
Mm-hmm.
But from a general perspective, all you need is a pint. The
Mm-hmm.
base model. There's a pint X, I don't think they sell XRs anymore.
Yeah, there's
But
no,
I have
so
2 of
there's
those still. I love my XRs, but, now we've moved on to a GT. So those are all ready to go, ready to ride. It doesn't need to be all tricked out. It doesn't need to be all customized. It could be to make it fun, but it doesn't need to be any way. You could simply go on a stock board and simply just start riding. It works great.
Yeah, and the good thing is today we have so good riders that just want to have a nice ride and have fun with his friends. And I
Absolutely.
think is the most important that we need is having a good day of fun. We have a picture from you in a very special place here. I love to come to this event. How was for you going in a one wheel in this big event that everybody wants to go?
Oh, I love this photo. So, let me give some background on it. So I had my one wheel for about a year and I put 250 miles, and that's
Hmm.
nothing. There's people out there that put 250 in a week. So, meaning I didn't really ride a whole lot. So I took it to Burning Man. And
It's a dream for me to go there. I
It's
think.
not. It's all are welcome there. It's a lot of work to get there, but once you get there, oh my gosh, it's I'm getting goosebumps just talking and thinking about it. It's the most you will, no matter how much someone tells you about it, and even
You
though I've
cannot
known
describe
about
it.
it, have friends that go to it for so many years, nothing prepared me for going to this event. And I was able to cover so much ground at this event. It's a wide open desert, with artwork everywhere. That's the man behind me.
Hmm.
And the cool thing is that the photographer who took this photo, I was simply just riding around. In fact, there was actually a one wheel meet. It was something like meet at the man, at 5:30, at 5:30, at 5 o'clock, meaning like that's the placement of where you would meet in relation to the man.
Hmm.
And, so we're riding around waiting for people to come in, and this person just randomly asked if he could take a photo of me, and I was like, "Yeah." So the playa, a gift that some people give to you are usually something that is, a tangible item. Maybe it's a
Hmm.
necklace or something, right? This person found me after the fact and sent me this photo with his professional camera, and I'm just so happy about that. I don't even know how he found me. I didn't know his name. We didn't exchange info. It was a quick shoot, and I was like, "Sure," and I turned around just like that, and he took that photo. So, it's amazing. I mean, I guess it's not too hard. There wasn't that many. It was in 2019. There weren't that many people riding one wheel, so especially
Yeah,
with
that was going to be my question. When you was there in this event, the one wheel was not so many riders there. It was possible. How many persons do you seen in this? In we are talking about 4 years ago.
yes.
How many?
So I
Do you
would
see
say
many
so.
one
It's really
wheels?
hard. I don't have an accurate count, but
Mm-hmm.
I would say there were, if I had to guess, it would probably be about 50 riders at that time.
Mm-hmm.
And I think, the next one, I went to the Renegade Man, which was in 2021. And I would say it was closer to, say, 250 riders.
Mm-hmm.
And I know last year there were a ton more. It was so much fun. Also, my camp, I was able to meet Chris Richardson here,
Mm-hmm.
who's based out of Florida. So it was randomly, and I didn't, this is at a time where I didn't know anybody. I don't know who's who. When I first met him, I didn't even know he was a celebrity at that time. A celebrity in our world. But yeah, it was really fun to meet people. And once, the thing about PEVs is once you find your PEV friends in the wild, you immediately gravitate towards them, and there's an instant connection because there's a common interest. So it's so much fun when you find other people, other PEV riders out there.
That's it the way to there.
Yeah. Yes, this is the Renegade Man.
Mm-hmm.
So much fun with
And
my
how
friends.
was like me? If I go, if or anyone wants to go, how easy is to find like. I just want to say hello to everybody who is coming now. Hello, Patrick. Uh, how easy is for you? Like you want to charge, you have to bring your energy. How that works is
Mhm.
easy for you to find someone that can give you for you to charge it, or how that works.
Yeah, so you go to Burning Man and you have to be completely self-sufficient, whether you're
Mm-hmm.
doing it solo with your small camp or a big camp. So in my case, I went well, the Renegade Man, I went solo, so I had to bring everything. I brought my own generator. I brought my, own gas to make sure I'm fully charged all the time. But the previous one, I was at a big sound camp, and they actually had power, so you could pay for power, and I paid enough. I paid for the upgrade to get like the RV type of power, so
Mm-hmm.
that I'm not just charging. I knew I wasn't just charging laptops and phones and whatnot, so I needed more battery. So I did the upgraded charge and or upgraded rate to pay for the RV power access. So I was fully charged all the time. So whenever I got back to camp, which was often, I would just charge up. I never had to worry about battery life. I never even checked my battery. Anytime I went back to grab a snack, to grab something, it was always going into the charger. So it's definitely doable.
Yeah, I think so. But we start maybe in a wrong. I mix a little. I want to know, because it's important having you here, because it's like this. I was easy for other ladies who are out there. Maybe they want to try a one wheel, they never try it, and they have this question, this big question: how is to start riding a one wheel? How was easy? How was difficult for you? How can you describe it for other ladies out there? I was when you I was the contact with the first contact with the one wheel, and was easy, was not easy. Do you have anyone who will help you?
Yeah, so I was my friend brought over a one wheel, and I tried it for the first time. And I think for the first time, everyone can ride it. It's so easy. You go slowly and you're able to ride it. It's not that big of a deal. However, when you want to excel your, upgrade your level, then it takes a little bit more work. You obviously have to put in time into it. So once you start hitting the, hundreds and thousands of miles, then you're starting to get really good, and you're starting, really, really feel comfortable on the board. But meanwhile, when you're under 100 miles, under 250 miles, you could ride pretty easily. In fact, my first ride, I remember I did 12 miles on my first ride. And the next time I went, it was about another 12, 15 miles, no big deal. So it's pretty easy to hop on and ride. You don't need it's not it, it we don't need to overcomplicate any of this.
Do you think the first time you ride it was like something very special, or was like something that you said, okay, that is for me, that is something that I'm going to
Oh, I
continue?
love this question. I looked at the board. Okay, so background, I think people know by now, and even looking at my page, I ride a lot of board sports, right?
Hmm.
I was completely intimidated by the one wheel. I didn't want to get on it. It looked scary. It looked fast. I looked like I might hurt myself, and I didn't ride it. And I'm usually the first one to try something, so that was a very, very interesting feeling for me. I tried it. I said, okay, it's cool. A year later, I bought it, and I started riding it, and I got, good pretty fast, and it was like good enough just to ride around. I mean, case in point, a year later, putting 250 miles in, I went to Burning Man and basically learned how to ride a one wheel at Burning Man, and having that open space, riding it for a week. I think that week's time, I was able to really, really upgrade my skill out there. So, it's a matter of time and how much time you put into it. But it
Yeah,
is
but
it
okay.
is really, really easy. I think anyone can do it. There's people who never rode a single board sport before and are absolutely good, and they're pro riders today. And there are people who ride all kinds of different board sports, and I do think it translates a little bit more. I think if you're a pretty good snowboarder, if you're pretty good at any one other board sports, it does translate.
And you are good in other sports. You can make lots of sports, and you are very active as sports. I see you riding, and I see today, I think is your kid riding to the one wheel,
Yeah,
and with your friends. I see lots of videos. I am going to recommend to everybody to go and see the two pages,
thank
one
you.
from her and the other one is from the one wheel girls. I think guys are going to love it, ladies. I think that is a good inspiration for all of you to take your questions, and that's what you need. you coming to this world of One Wheel, how was the contact with meeting new persons? This community is something that you, as a lady, because sometimes I speak with lots of ladies and they say, "Oh, that is a sport for men," and that is something that I think that is very old, and that is the easy way to you to say, "Okay, that is maybe not for me." Don't you think that is wrong? And this sport is made for everyone to use it.
Absolutely. Oh my gosh, great question. I You have to understand, when I started this, I didn't know anybody. I had maybe, that one friend that introduced me to one wheeling, and it was there's no way I could ride with that one person. So I started finding friends, right? I started finding community, found community on Facebook, found out that I live in San Jose, and I
Mm-hmm.
found out in San Francisco, which is about an hour away from me, that there are a lot more riders over there. But, it's a far drive to be able
Mm-hmm.
to just do a quick ride. So over time, we start formulating our own group around the South Bay in San Jose, and it started becoming so big. And everyone's so welcoming. I think just the community in general is so welcoming, especially to women. And
Mm-hmm.
I love that because obviously as a female, I get concerned about my safety and, riding at night or riding somewhere. I do solo rides by myself, but yeah, this is one of the first early rides
I'm
before
putting
we
from
even
the
had.
beginning. I think.
This was from the beginning. This is
Yeah.
literally the beginning. A few of us were, this is like right before the pandemic, I
Mm-hmm.
believe. I think it was like January and of 2020 when I created the Shred Life page.
Mm-hmm.
And this is literally just a few of us. Look at, there's all different kind of riders, and some of the San Francisco people came out, and we said, let's go for a ride at this park. We don't know, I think
Mm-hmm.
it's rideable. And we just all met up at the parking lot and started riding. And that's literally the gist of how a lot of people just meet up. We went up these hills that we couldn't go up. So people had to hop off their board. We had no idea what we were doing, but we had a great time doing it. But, I came out into this one wheel community just really just solo. I had, nobody to kind of, you know, hold my hand. I just sought people out, and this is like also another friend that I made at Burning Man as well, and it's been great. It's you when you meet people, you start to become friends, and you stay connected, and then over the years, especially now 5-6 years into it, you see these friends at events over and over, and it's such a beautiful thing. And I always feel welcome. I always feel safe. And I know any female rider that comes in, is don't be shy, just come on in. It's a welcoming community.
And you're going to love it, ladies, and believe
You
it.
are
We're going
absolutely going to love it.
and you're going to be take care. Now that we are talking, we are seeing now street, we are seeing you off-road. What is the type of riding that you like more? Or there is nothing, not, do you prefer streets? Do you prefer off-road? What is more your style?
I would, if I could ride trails all day, I would ride trails all day, every day if I
Mm-hmm.
could. The convenience of riding streets is so much easier for me. I can ride at night. I didn't know that this world exists, where I could ride. So during the pandemic, I was able to ride around downtown San Jose. And, I thought I knew San Jose, at least downtown. But when you start riding around on a one wheel, you get to see things in a different way, right? You get to pass by these, monuments that you have no idea, that you never really stop because you're driving in a car, but you can actually get off your board and walk around and take a look around. So I prefer trails, but I would say street is really fun as well too. It's a little bit more, you got to be really careful because you obviously have to watch out for cars, and other people, and you have to be a little bit more careful, whereas trails, you just have to watch out for stationary trees and rocks, hidden rocks.
So, why do you create? What was the idea from the beginning? I know that you changed a little the name today. What was your idea, and what is your idea today, making this this group from girls that to talk about it. What is the idea for everybody who asks? What is the idea from for everybody to understand it? Why
So,
do you create and change the name and for everybody to know who wants to come and in because there's lots of people now coming to this group. The group is growing very fast.
yes, yes, it is, and, so just to be absolutely fair, I'm not the creator of Onewheel Girls. I
Mm-hmm.
inherited this account. The original founder didn't have time to run the page anymore, and she, I don't know, lack of a better word,
Mm-hmm.
auctioned it off to, who she had a vote, everybody vote for who should take over, and luckily I won and I took over this page. However, it should be known that I was literally in the process and I already had a handle created
Mm-hmm.
to create my own Onewheel Girls type of group page so
Mm-hmm.
that we have a place where we could build a community together because, at that point, all I see were men riding, doing
Mm-hmm.
tricks, racing. It was all very men centric and there
Mm-hmm.
wasn't a lot of female representation.
Mm-hmm.
So having this Onewheel Girls page allowed me and us to have a place to share all of our stories and our videos and our content to see what
She's
other
very active.
women writing. I mean, this individual, Shan, I love her so much. She's,
I
I
have the
think you
pleasure
know
to
her,
write.
right?
Yeah, yeah, I know her very well. I interview her too. I know the two of them. I interviewed this one too. I interview lots of ladies here.
I love it. I love it. I know you do such a great job, like pulling the
And
women
they do
into this.
so much for the community, and we need more. I have the pleasure to interview Chantal on the. She's very active in
Mhm.
UK. She do a lot for the
Yes.
ladies,
Yes.
and we need more ladies, and that is the important thing. And each one of them has a special role in this future of the PVs, and we are seeing about 3 days ago I was having an interview with another lady who makes skateboard, and she's pushing. She's from San Diego, and she's pushing a lot for the skateboards, and we are seeing all the girls working together to push the sport to the top, and it's not easy. I know that is not easy, and the big mistake what I see is the people always think, oh, that is a sport, is not maybe for us, it's for men. No, I'm just going to try to explain in my way. If you come, you are going to be welcome, and you're going to learn a lot. I know lots of girls, lots of ladies who they can ride better than me 100 times, and I learn a lot with them riding. I was this year in Europe seeing these girls doing so many tricks, so many stuff, riding, enjoying, bringing the smile, the style of riding, doing crazy, more crazy than most of the men's. That is totally wrong if you are thinking that is a sport for all of us. And I want to have more and more. Look at this. It's beautiful to see,
I love
and
it.
and we need more. And today, when you go, is easy now that you have so many years riding, is easy for you to find time or friends to ride the one wheel. Do you see today is like a click? You're going to find a ride. You're going to find um, how do you describe it today? Because, like you told in the beginning, was you can barely count by your hands, by your fingers, how many persons was there to ride. Today is a lot of people.
Yes, yes. There's
In
a lot
your
more.
area, is lots of riders.
There's a lot of riders, but I would say in any given night, there will be a handful of, 5 to 10 women riders. So there's still not a lot of us, and there's oftentimes I'm still the only female, especially with, for example, tomorrow night, it's really cold. Not everybody wants to ride in that type of
Mm-hmm.
cold, right? But, I do. So it's not everyone will come out, right? Whether it's men or women.
Mm-hmm.
But it's so much fun. I think as this sport grows, I think as we there's more representation, I think it will encourage other women riders to start coming in more.
Look at you, the two of you, how we are smiling and having fun. That
Oh,
is the
that was
important thing of this sport. Look at
yes.
this.
These are the friendships that I was able to make. I mean, deep friendships, going on trips together on a one-wheel solo girls trip, just us two. All these people I've met over the course of the past 5 years, right? There's nobody that introduced me from like my friend group outside of one wheeling. These are all people I met, whether it's online, through Instagram or what have you, or at events, Shredfest. I mean, I've been building these deep relationships with so many different riders, and it's such a beautiful thing because as soon as I see, I basically attack female riders when I see one. I'm like, oh my gosh, I don't know you. I beeline it to that person and I just talk to them right away, introduce myself, and make sure they feel welcome. I would say this as a new female rider, if you don't know where to start, if you have a local community, that's really easy to plug into. If you don't know, you might have to go a little bit further and, but all you have to do is just reach out to people, reach out to me on Onewheel Girls, reach out to me on Shred Life. I'll try to connect you with different people. And that's it. That's the beginning. that's, that's the beginning of your one wheel story. It's, get connected with your community.
Yeah, that's why I'm going to tell like this. I always tell to everybody my opinion about that is like this. Today we have, it's easy. We have the Facebook, we have lots of medias, but Facebook is one of the doors that you can go and find a group that maybe is from your city or
Mhm.
close to your city, and that way you can go there and try to contact them and
Mhm.
say, I would love to try it. I think is a good option. Onewheel or PVs is not how can I say, is not cheap. Is some money. If you buy something that you're not going to like,
Mhm.
is something that you're going to leave it in one place and you're going to lose the money. I think the best option is for you to go to a nice group close to you and say, I would love to try it. They're going to explain you the right way to ride it, because lots of people don't have time to read or don't want to read, and they just want. And that way I think the groups is going to explain you, or like your group of the
Mhm.
ladies, the one wheel ladies, they can explain you, oh, come here, we're going to try to help you. And
Yes.
maybe it's not like I always tell to everybody, not everybody's going to love the one wheel. I love the one wheel. Sometimes the people ask me why
Mhm.
you are a skateboarder, and I say I cannot describe. I'm a fanatic for the one wheel. I don't know. It's not being the speed. It's something very special that I cannot describe. I just have so much fun riding my one wheel, and the most important thing, I always say this, and maybe the people don't understand. I ride AUC, I ride skateboards, and I
Mhm.
ride one wheels, and the community from one wheel is so united. Is something that is failing by the AUC community and by the A skate community. Maybe in the future they're going to, but the one wheel community are so united. When you go, you have so much fun. Yeah, so a
I
good time, and you meet so many persons that you can you I will in this year I don't know how many people I meet. I cannot describe. And you being in USA, and I seeing this small videos, like just seeing persons from around the world just having fun. And is I'm going to change for your, because you have so many years, you have other sports. For the people who don't understand, she can do lots of sports, not just one, and she can ride. Uh, but I see something in you that I question myself. I'm going to put it like this: do you use gear?
uh, like safety gear?
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. I try to gear up most of the time. Once in a while I have some content where I don't have gear, and that's because it's just a quick ride or I wasn't, planning to go for a longer ride. But usually I gear up. I would say, at minimum, I have a helmet, and
Mm-hmm.
then I, usually have a wrist guard to pair it up with. Oddly enough, when I ride with my son, I tend to wear a wrist guard, even if I'm not going fast. It's because, in case he bumps me, we both fall. And, I don't want to get scraped up. You don't want to have little cuts on your hands. Anything you could do to protect yourself. But I'm fully geared up when I ride trails, for example. I have knee guards, I have butt pads, I have a body armor. I wear that underneath a jersey. So I'm fully geared up because, when you're going the faster. So I'm not much of a trickster. I'm more of a
Mhm.
speedster. I don't want to, I want to minimize damage, but riding fast is probably where I would take the risk because I'm a little bit of a speed demon. But yeah, it's I would recommend everyone to gear up, just wear a wrist guard at minimum. If you're trying it for the first time, try to put on wrist guards. I would say the first time riders, because you're not going that fast, if you fall, you'll probably land. You don't know how to fall yet, so you'll probably land on your hands, and so you want to protect your wrist. And obviously, if you could throw on a helmet, even better. But I would first ride, I would prioritize wrist guards than over a helmet.
Yeah, but it's like you are talking. You like speed. Do you prefer downhills? Do you prefer what type do you prefer?
Uh, you know, Trails,
Or
there's
more technical?
yeah, just technical. So I like a variety of trails, right? When I go ride
Mm-hmm.
in Santa Cruz, the trails don't, it's not really an uphill, downhill type of terrain, but it's very rooty. So there's a lot of roots in the rails that, you could, bonk off of and
Mm-hmm.
ride off of, and some little features that you can drop off of. And then I go ride, for example, Fort Ord in Monterey, and
Mm-hmm.
that's, oh my gosh, that's a one-wheel mecca. It's kind of like as big as Burning Man, but well, bigger than Burning Man size. But imagine all these hills and different terrains. There's, almost like 5 different type of terrain. Some spots are sandy, some spots are rocky, some parts are just dirt. Some parts have roots like Santa Cruz, and there's some jumps off, some places, and there's downhill, there's uphill, but it's flat enough where you don't have to go too much uphill, because you can't really go on a huge incline, but on a steady incline you could probably climb up a hill.
Okay. For you, today, do you have any special thing in your one wheel that you say to everybody that should change, or you have your one wheel completely original?
No, I definitely probably change out all my one wheels quite a bit. For me, I like to, on my XRs, because I still have 2 of those. I have an extended range battery,
Do you have
one
the pleasure
board.
to meet this guy?
No, I just reposted his content, Chavez
I would
Flag.
love to see this guy.
He's so cool. I
What?
couldn't believe it. This is like one of my earlier posts. I'm just like, "What? This guy is riding a one wheel playing a guitar." It was so inspiring. I'm like, "Wow, there's people are cool. Look at this guy."
He's amazing. Hello, Tom. That's why I was asking you if you meet him, because he's one of the persons I would love to meet too,
Yeah.
because is the style what he created is unique, and we have unique guys here. I have another question. I see you riding on a chair, on a chair. Is it
On a
easy?
chair.
Do you like it?
Yeah, I think that video was probably my first time trying it. I
Yeah,
don't really
because I
ride on a
see the
chair
video. Let
normally
me
at
see if I
all.
find it here. I,
Yeah,
and
it's
and
probably
I
further up.
buy it. I buy it for 2 days at the chair to try it too.
Yeah, it wasn't as hard as I thought it would be. You lean forward to go, and you like lean back when you want to slow down. But I think all you have to do is just put your arms on the chair and kind of push down on it for a little bit
Hmm.
leverage. And once somebody told me that, it got a lot easier. But that was my first time trying it.
And do you like it?
I like it, but I don't think I'm going to be a chairperson. I like standing on my wheel. I like carving. That's more my style than actually sitting, but it seems really fun. I just don't I'm not that good on it.
I just want to see this. That is good.
Yeah, these are some of our Friday night rides. We usually So yeah, I want to go back to this. So when
Mm-hmm.
you ask about, am I a street rider or a trail rider?
Mm-hmm.
Um, so the funny thing is on Friday nights, I'm exhausted, right? It's been a long week and usually I'm pretty tired. I don't want to go, especially on a ride.
Mm-hmm.
But my MO is that maybe half an hour before the ride starts, I say, forget it. I'm just going to go. And I throw on whatever, clothes I need to throw on, pull my board, and like hopefully it's fully charged and run out the door before I could even think twice. And here's the thing is that every single time I go, I have the most fun, the
Wow, nice
absolutely
group.
most fun. It's always a vibe. It's, like I said, everyone's very welcoming. It's so much fun.
Mm-hmm.
And we just have a great time. It's like a party on wheels. And so, while the terrain is not my style, it's the late night rides are my vibe.
You bring a very positive thing for all of us.
We
Uh,
just
uh,
stop and we have a great time. Look at us. We just stop and just goof around.
I think you bring lots of positive energy for all of us. I have the
Thank you.
privilege to have here lots of ladies who ride. You are one of them who make this sport for love, and that's what we need more and more and more. People with positive energy, always with a big smile, always sharing, not from themselves, but from other persons who are riding together. And most of the times, these people just want to show themselves and forget about the community around. And everything we see about your posts is not just you, is the community, and that is the beautiful thing. And wow, these guys, they are very good.
Yeah, this is my homie. We're in San Diego at with the Will Fun stuff. I think that was Will Fun.
Oh, here is someone is he love it, the one wheel.
He loves it. He loves it.
Ooh, look, we is together.
I know, he doesn't even know that, he's hanging out with the pros. It's quite funny, but this is a Burning Flux.
Uh-huh.
And I brought him out there. I take my son, out as much as I can, get him interested in one wheeling because he's not that as much into it as I am. He's kind of slowly getting there, but
Hmm.
he loves meeting all my friends, my one wheel friends, and
He's
yeah, it's
growing. Give him time.
fun. Yeah.
Like I'm going to tell you something. I have a kid. I have one wheels here. I don't know how many years in my home. I have not one. I have three. And my kids never was interested. Never, never.
Mhm.
And they asked. And this year I was in other country because it was an event from friends and was an event to that you can come and try the one wheel. And
Mhm.
my son was with other kids there, and
Mhm.
for the first time him and the other my other kid, because of the other kids, they started to ride it, and now they are loving to ride. And give him
Love
time.
it.
He's going to come to a moment that he's going to say that is growing. And
Yeah. I mean, there's other kids there, and you hate to compare, your kids to other kids, but I wish he would, start riding trails with me. Then, I wouldn't be limited to where I ride with him. But yeah, it's a matter of time. So
yeah, I
this is
love
Santa Cruz
trails too.
Trails.
Yeah, that is
Um,
very good.
yeah, I think I just
Very
put on a brand new rail, so that's why I'm flopping all over the place.
good.
I don't know how to. It was like my first time on the trail, just riding with it. But yeah, I upgraded those. That was like the last XR that I have,
Hmm.
and then I also upgraded my GT as well too, with some minor upgrades. But as a new rider, you don't really need to do all the upgrades. When you start moving over to trails, then I think the bare minimum you want to upgrade to a treaded tire. But there's people who ride on a slick tire as well. And as I mentioned earlier, if there's any questions anyone has, they're more than welcome to reach out to me. I've definitely helped a lot of people answer their questions around their boards, or where should they go ride. So yeah, I'm more than happy to help.
Shit, so now I'm going to make you the question. The end of 23 is coming. And we're
Mhm.
going to come to 24. 24 is going to be lots of new events. I'm listening that 24 is going to be very big. Do you have any places in special that you going to maybe go, or do you like to go in 2024?
Shred Fest. Shred Fest. So it would be next year would be year 4 of Shred Fest. The first one, I just went. I just went for it. I didn't
Mm-hmm.
know that many people. I just knew that it was going to be fun. I bought my tickets, didn't know who was going. So over time, I figured out, a lot of people are going, and oh my gosh, it was so amazing. I couldn't believe that we were able to combine a festival, an actual music festival, with one-wheeling and
Oh,
racing and all
Nicole.
that. Hi, Nicole.
Uh, you can be the next Nicole. This January, I have everything booked, but you're always welcome. And we
Yes,
need more ladies, huh? Uh,
yes. Nicole, you gotta get on this. She's a great rider too. She also was, one of my race mates at Race for the Rail last year.
uh, how do you see? We are talking about the 2024, then we go to the race. But how do you see the 2024? Do you think it's going to be a busy year for everyone,
Yeah,
like in
abs
USA?
absolutely. I think for some of us, it's a matter of which event you want to go to because you simply can't go to them all. I mean, there's definitely a
No, you
handful
cannot.
of pro riders who go to probably most of them. I don't even know if anybody has gone to all of them, but it's really hard to go to all. But oh gosh, it's so much fun. I think it's every year it goes grows bigger and bigger. So I think and of course you get to fine tune the event as an event coordinator, right? So it's always bigger and better with more people or the same friends, and it's going to be so much fun. I can't wait to see all
How
the
I was for you. I was for you meeting this race persons and going to this race because we are talking about in the last 2 years change everything. Lots of races, lots of competitions, lots of events. Before we don't have nothing. Now of one moment to another, there is lots of events happening and
yeah.
lots of races. Uh, I was for you meeting this crazy ladies who can ride, and we have today the a lady is the only one who was possible to win the the one wheel
Diesel.
race 2 times, yes.
Yes.
And no man could not do that. And how do you
Well,
see
Tyler
that?
did that shortly after, to be fair.
Yeah, okay, but first is first.
He was the first. He was the
She
first.
was the first,
Yeah.
doesn't
He did
matter
it
what
he did
happened.
it an hour later, but she was the first. So, kudos to that, and I love that so much. She won back to back, and it's been absolutely amazing. Um,
She's saying
yeah.
if she can she's going to just go to one.
Yes,
Absolutely.
yes. It's so
And
fun. It's such a vibe. It's such a vibe. But yeah, I mean, racing is, I have a funny story to share.
Mhm.
So with Race for the Rail, honestly, so I don't race. I don't race a lot. And last year I decided I'm gonna give it a shot, see where I place. And I don't race at other events. So it was a lot of like mental, I don't
Mhm.
know, hype that I had to tell myself to even get into this racing
Wow.
mindset. And I couldn't believe I made it into Race for the Rail. I was so close after the Western qualifier at right here. I uh I think my placement was like number 11. And so I couldn't believe it. I was like, "Oh my gosh, I couldn't believe I made it so far." I'm literally one spot away from Race for the Rail. And one of the female riders dropped out early on, and I was in. So all of a sudden I'm in Race for the Rail. I had no idea what I was doing. But I had to do it. I was like, "I don't care if I don't do well. I don't care. I'm doing it. This is crazy." I couldn't believe.
Why? You was there, and that is the important thing. We was
Yes.
very proud that we have for the first time a lady from Europe there. And
Yes, bugs float.
yeah, she's going to come now this year to talk about. I think next month she's going to be here
I
to
love
talk
it.
about how was the experience going to this competition and seeing so many nice and good riders, the best riders there. How can
Oh,
you
they're the
describe
best.
it?
I would say
Because
I
we
know.
before you talk, because
Sure.
all of us we are jealous of you. Because all of us we want to go there.
Um, so, first of all, I think I would say I know probably all the riders
Hmm.
already, through various events and just, meeting them or, at yeah, various events.
Hmm.
And, to be racing beside them was a whole different story. I'm like, "Wow, I didn't I couldn't believe I'm even here." And, granted that the women's circuit is much more smaller than the male circuit, right? There's definitely a lot more riders. I think like there was something like, I don't know, don't quote me, but there was something like 400 racers
Hmm.
at the Western qualifier, 400 male racers, and
Hmm.
there were 50 women racers. So, that's the disparate, like, between the two different genders. So but it was so much fun, like, meeting, racing alongside the best of the best. Of course, like, being in the last placement, I was put alongside Mercedes, so that was a little bit intimidating, so
So I have my perfect. I love Mercedes, but I love David. I love lots of good riders there, and I think everyone has his special. Uh, I have my special one, and I love them a lot. And I think seeing a team of boyfriends together
yes.
riding, I think that is beautiful. Like this too.
Yeah.
I have the opportunity to interview the two of them. They
Yeah.
are two crazy boyfriends and girlfriend that they are riding together, and I always the two of them smiling and
Yes.
just doing one do something, the other one do the same, and I
I
think that
agree.
is and always for you to ride with these persons, these riders, they are just doing crazy stuff.
They're always doing the most. I mean, look at this guy, he could just Kyle, he throws down these tricks that he unlocks these tricks all on his own. I mean, he spends so much time just tricking out, um, and
Do you don't think there is the two of them? There are two persons who bring lots of positive for this sport for the future
absolutely,
for the youngs, because sometimes we like you and me, you are talking, we don't like so much to do these tricks, we want to ride and have fun. They show to the young people that we can do so many
yeah,
stuff with the one wheel, and that's what the young people want. They want to have
yeah,
something that they say, okay, I invented this trick, I
right.
invented that. Don't you think they are changing that?
Absolutely. They Kyle is changing the landscape for the male riders, and Allie is just, forced to be reckoned with as well. I mean, thanks to
Like she's telling you, you make the top 10.
Cole. Thanks, you did too. But yeah, Allie and Kyle, they're just amazing. They're really positive. They're so welcoming. And I say this to Kyle almost every time I see him. He talks to so many people, and I think at one point my social battery gets
Look
drained.
at
And
this.
I know I love this photo. I feel bad because I couldn't fit Christy Miller, who's on the right of Cecil. Um, uh, on her right, but there's Nicole on the left. Shout out
Uh-huh.
to Nicole, and we got all the female riders. It's so amazing to be able to, make it here. It's like a part of, made it into part of history.
And I think you cannot imagine. I'm going to tell you this way. I'm always trying not to be unfair with the other ladies when nobody else. But you don't forget, your names is going to be in the future is going to be there in the top, because you are the beginners. You are the ones who push the sport to the top, and I hope with your ideas, your style, your energy, in the future, lots of people is going to say, okay, these names, all of them, there was the people who started, and push this sport for all of us ladies and show that it's possible. There is lots of ladies that can go so fast, or they can compete against men. And don't think that is just that is a joke. That is not a joke. That is real ladies who are pushing every day. And I'm very proud. I was this year in one event, and I was seeing these ladies coming downhill in Scotland, and that is very high, and they was like pushing a lot, and I was like, wow, they are very good,
Yes. Yes.
and they has power, they has energy, and positive energy. And then you see like this beautiful smiles, all of them united. That is just magic for all of us. And being like you, I know that is not like you are talking. There is more men than ladies, but I think you have to think about 4 years ago when you started. How many ladies do you have there? It was
4
nothing.
years ago, there was 0. There wasn't
Yes.
even there were women weren't even part of the race, I think. I
So
think it was, let me see, maybe I'm wrong. No, I think 5 years ago, there were no
no
women's
races.
class, and then I think, 4 years ago, there was a women's class, um, and then it started growing, and I think last year, so the male ha the I think men had 12 riders at Race for the Rail, and last year it was 10, but, I'm sorry. Right, and then this year it was 12 and 12, so
Mhm.
we're really catching up, and I appreciate that so much, so I love seeing it. I
I think
personally won't
next
be.
year is going to be lots of surprises, huh?
I think so too. I think there's a lot of new riders,
Hmm.
right? The future generation is coming up, and there's going to be fresh legs into,
Hmm.
both the female and the male circuit.
Hmm.
So it's going to be very interesting to watch. I think we're going to have a lot more new talent coming into this.
It's
And
lots of good talent. Come on, I was seeing this last year, that this 15-year lady riding this downhill, nobody, like a surprise, and she was like a machine coming down. 15 years old, in 2 or 3 years she's going to be one of the best. And that is the good thing about the community and the races. But you going to continue racing, trying to go again?
no, I think I'm going to hang my racing hat up. It was a lot of bodily impact for me, and I'm a single mom, so
Hmm.
it's really hard to, sustain even the minor injuries. It just makes my life so much harder. Luckily, I didn't, I didn't have any major. It wasn't any major injuries, but yeah, I don't think I'll be racing anymore. But I will continue to rip trails for sure. So
And maybe
on to,
maybe helping for the future ones.
yeah,
uh, w-
absolutely. I
w-
hope
w- w-
so.
yeah, and giving your I know we have a time, but it's like this. I want to ask you, you are a one-wheel rider, you have lots of other sports that you make, but as PVs, do you ever try other PVs? Or because I was seeing you riding this long board without no motor, but do you try other PVs, or you tried, or how can you?
I tried an EUC. I've tried it 3 times. I am not good at it. There is something about this forward momentum that I can't really get right.
Uh-huh.
The one wheel I had no problems with, and then I think the alternate is true too. I think there's some EUC riders who could hop on a one wheel, and then some who just can't ride it for the life of them either. So I think it's a matter of personal preference. But for me, I'm a sideway board sports rider.
Hmm.
So I don't think the EUC is something I would get into. I'm more of I'm definitely a 100% one wheel rider.
Yeah, because one-wheel riders like you here, like snowboarding, like surfing, is something that's the lots to tune with the one wheel. You're going to be like using the same style, and the position of your feet and everything of your body is going to be like the same. And then
Mhm.
if you go to the AUC, don't have nothing to do. You're going to be like skiing.
Yeah.
It's totally different.
Well, and it's a lot faster, right? I think I'm gonna hit my max speed, 20, I don't even know what it is, maybe like 26 miles or something. I don't know. I never really tracked this stuff. Um, but on an EUC, you can go a lot faster than that, right? And I don't think I want to go that much faster than 26 miles.
Yeah, AUC is fun. It's difficult. It's one of the difficult ones of all of them. I think every PV has its style of riding and don't have nothing to do with one. And I hate when
I
I
agree.
listen to the person saying this PV is better than the other one.
I
I
agree.
don't. I think one wheel is so crazy and so amazing. You
Yeah.
cannot describe. And when I see you riding, the happiness that you have, that is the important thing. If you find something that you are happy, just have fun and
Yeah.
enjoy it. Uh, what you I don't want to make this video, we are coming close to 1 hour. I want to ask you like this: what you say to the ladies who are out there, maybe they want to start, maybe they want to try it, or maybe they want to go to the Onewheel Girls group, and they are close to you or not close, or they are in USA or around the world. You as a rider with so many years of one wheel, what you say to them out there? They are maybe afraid to try because it's always.
Yeah.
What
Yeah.
you recommend for these ladies?
I would just say just start. That's it. Just start. Hop on a board and, just ride around the block, ride up and down the street, ride in the driveway. Just ride, just ride. You just
I
get
just
on
going to
it,
show
get
that
comfortable
was
on
the one
it,
I wanted.
and you have no idea where it's going to take you. I thought it was going to be just a kind of a fun thing to mess around and, pull it out when I, have like, parties or something at my house. But it became a whole, it became a whole part of my life. I didn't see that coming, but it's so much fun. It's just so much fun to, sometimes I like to ride solo, just, when I'm feeling a little bit stressed out and just kind of a midday break. I just ride around the block. It doesn't even have to be far. And, getting that fresh air, that forward momentum, it really helps me out. It helps my body. Just mentally just feels so much better. So
Do you think this is a good thing for you to now that you are talking about that? In your opinion, do you think that is something that maybe when you are with the stress, that when you go out, just everything vanish?
yeah. Yeah. You tuck all the problems away, you hop on the board and you could, press pause on life. And it's kind of like just, riding anything, right? You have to be focused on the road ahead of you. So you're not thinking about all these things in your head. So you get to take a break from whatever it is that you're dealing with and kind of regroup internally. Even better when I do it's just like it's the same thing. If I did a full day of snowboarding and I did a whole full day of trail riding, I just feel absolutely amazing, and I feel that energy for the next couple days, and I absolutely love it. So hopefully that inspires some other women to, go out there and start riding because it's tons of fun. You don't have to ride a one wheel, just pick up any PEV. You could be on an e-bike,
Hmm.
any PEV, uh, e-skate, what have you. Just come out, be on a scooter. There's people who are on
Yeah,
scooters
yeah.
even. Rent a
There's
scooter, a
lots of
Lime
people.
scooter.
Hmm. I just say to everybody, just go. I think you're going to have lots of fun, meet new people, new minds, learn a lot. Maybe you can share what you have to give to all of us because we are learning every day too, and you're just going to have fun. In end of the day, is something that you just have to think in one thing: have fun, enjoy yourself. I
Absolutely.
don't want to make this life bigger. I think you are a very special person. From my side, I'm going to tell you like this: it was a pleasure to meet you. I hope that next year is my idea to go to events in USA, and I will be a pleasure to meet you and to know you personally. I think you bring lots of good vibes and good energies for all the ladies. And I think you with the Onewheel Girls is going to be big. And I know that you're going to help lots of ladies coming to this sport. And maybe in 1 or 2 years, we come back here, the two of us, and have a conversation and say, Nelson, in 2 years, that change like not imagine. And we don't need to race against the men's. We have a lone one race just for ladies. Let's see what
Absolutely.
we have here. She is the best, most responsive person. It's
Oh, this is EUC Fairy. I already know. You already know. You interviewed her not too long ago
yes, I
too.
interview her. She is a fantastic person. She was with the accident about some days ago.
Mm,
But that happens.
happens.
I leave you like always to everybody's out there. I leave you with the last words for everybody out there. Thank you so much for coming here and share a little about your amazing experience, not just with the Onewheel, as a mom, as a rider, as that you has shown as a mom you can ride and have fun and bring your kid, and that is very positive. And that's what I think about um, you. I don't know you personally, but I see your Instagram, the way you treat and the way you do it. Don't stop doing what you are doing. You are very, very important for all of us. I'm in the other side of the world, but believe it or not, we stay together all the time. And like always, for the people who come to see your live stream here in YouTube, Facebook, or in Twitter, X, what you want to call it today, just give a nice like and go there. I'm going to leave the two links from her, and go there, subscribe. And if you have any questions, anything, just talk with them. They're going to take care of you. And for you, I leave you with the last words for your community who's going to see you maybe later on the video or something like that.
Thank you so much. It was a pleasure being on here. It was so nice to meet you, Nelson. And for all the new female riders, come on out. We'll love to meet you. Don't be shy. Introduce yourselves and let's ride.
Let's have fun. That's the important thing. And
We will
always with a smile
absolutely
like
have
you.
fun. That I could guarantee you.
You are a person with always positive energy. That is the important thing. Thank you so much for everybody's out there. I just want to share something for all of you. Next week, tomorrow, I'm going to be in Paris. Paris is going to be the last event of Europe. It's going to be a big event in the middle of Paris. It's going to be all the PVs. Is organized by the Black Land Skateboards and by the Pace Skate Road, and they are inviting everybody to come. That is going to be 3 days of events. You don't have to pay nothing. If you want, you just have to search for a place for you to sleep, and it's going to be 3 days of off-roading, street, going to the middle of Paris and having fun. And if you have the chance, you are close to us, just come and go to the event. And next week, I just want to say we're going to have James. This is from UK. Is riding Onewheel, not so long, but is a machine. Is like a person. And this next year they're going to create a big event close to him. And if you have the chance, come next week and listen what they're going to do in UK. There is lots of stuff happening in Europe and USA and around the world. I know that Australia is working a lot, and the important thing, just have fun, enjoy it, and always try to gear up. The machine's coming faster, and we are coming crazy and crazy every day. And lest your helm for your head.
Check the noggin.
So thank you so much. Have a good time. Enjoy it, and see you next